Dublin 127, Meath 114. Dublin have hammered Meath once again in the Leinster Senior Football Championship. It's the annual hammering of the Royals. Of course, last year wasn't very much a hammering, but every other year, really since 2010, has been very, very comfortable indeed from a Dublin perspective, and especially in the last 4 to 5 years, it has been exactly that. Dublin, absolutely fantastic, brilliant. Kicking some brilliant scores, all six forwards getting on the score sheet. The bench made an impact. Evan Comerford, brilliant in goal. All across the pitch, brilliant. Still a couple of defensive issues there, certainly, and we'll certainly discuss that in further detail, and certainly against a much stronger team and a team that wasn't as embarrassing as this Meath team were today. They could maybe cause a few issues and a few problems, and could potentially on another day cause some problems for this Dublin defence. But look, Meath were very poor once again against Dublin, and I've said this on number of occasions before, and I did a live watch-along stream, and I've said this before. I get that Dublin play all their games, home games in Croke Park, and I get that Dublin have loads of resources, and, there's an argument there, and I think, it's definitely a conversation worth having in terms of spreading resources out evenly all across the country. But I just think Meath have regressed massively in the last 5 to 10 years, and it doesn't get spoken about enough. It's all finger blaming and point of blame here, and we can't compete because sure, what's the point in turning up because you'll beat us anyway? Just really, really poor mentality. And I think the mentality in this Meath squad, in this Meath panel, is just not there at all. And I don't think the manager is good enough, to be honest. I know Meath fans love him and all the rest, and that's perfectly fine, but I just think they have decent players, but just conditioningly wise, they don't seem to be quite up for it. It was like watching men against boys. It really, really was. And me just weren't in the game at all. And, as soon as this game started, it was very much over because Dublin built up a 5-point lead early on, and they were just in cruise control, and me just never got going. And yeah, fair enough, they had a decent bit of a spell towards the end of the game when they got the goal and a flurry of points, but it frustrates me sometimes when you see Meath fans giving out, and just GAA fans in general giving out about Dublin having this and X, Y, Z. And, there's so many other counties that have less resources, less population, less funding than Meath GAA. But look at what they're doing. Look at Monaghan. Look at what Derry have done coming up from Division 4. Limerick, Louth, all these counties very much on the up and very much improving. Even counties like Tyrone, Armagh, who very, limited population, with Meath. So, just wanted to get that over and done with straight off the bat. But from a Dublin perspective, look, Dublin were very, very good. And, Meath were poor, but Dublin made them look poor at times. Dublin were just really, really at the races. And, this Dublin team, I think they scored 127 against Wexford, 127 now against Meath as well. And when I was doing the live watch-along stream, there was a few people that were saying, this performance was almost a bit reminiscent of Dublin under Jim Gavin, and I certainly would agree with that. A lot of kick passing, a lot of variation in the play. Cormac Costello, excellent. Every player just looked up for it. The energy was there. The hunger was there. We were just kept going and going and going. It was like watching a machine play. It was brilliant from Dublin from start to finish. Tom Lahiff around the middle was brilliant. Fenton was excellent. Kieran Kilkenny, man of the match in my opinion, 5 points in the game, was outstanding. Brian Howard, I thought, had an excellent game as well. Kicked a brilliant point in the second half. And you've obviously got Con O'Callaghan coming in there, and he's obviously that outlet and that player that since coming back into the side has really made a big difference. And Owen Merchant makes a big difference to this Dublin side as well. So yeah, definitely a lot of positives to take from a Dublin perspective. A lot of very good performances all around the field. Yes, it was against a Meath team that were quite poor today, in my opinion. But I do think, generally speaking, we will get tougher games. Make no mistake about that. Emmett says McEntee needs to pack his bag and leave now. There is potential in these Meath players, but he seems absolutely clueless on how to bring them forward and just continue to regress. And yeah, I'd agree with you there. Like, I think there clearly is good players. You obviously won a minor All-Ireland there as well. So there is good players at Meath. They have quality players. You see the talent within the panel. You see the talent within their players. A lot of very good young players, but just like the marking was very sloppy. They don't seem to be good tacklers either. Like, Dublin were just waltzing through Meath time and time again, and like just so much space on the ball to kick scores. And look, Dublin were fantastic. I think they only maybe hit maybe 3-4 wides in the game from what I remember. Very little wides in the entirety of the game. They were excellent. They really, really were. But, you know, at the same time, they were loud. You know, there was just no tackling, no physicality about the Meath side. Indiscipline as well. Like obviously with the red card at the end for Jordan Morris, like that's just so silly and ridiculous as well. Like, you know, I like Jordan Morris. He's a great player, great footballer. I think he's got a good potential on him for Meath. But yeah, just a moment of madness there because, you know, unless he gets his red card rescinded, which, you know, he really shouldn't, he's going to be out for that opening game in the qualifiers. And that just now limits Meath's chances of getting out of qualifiers, in my opinion. So yeah. Sharon says, why does Dublin always take their foot off the gas in the second half? Well, I don't really know if they took their foot off the gas a little bit. They slowed down a little bit, definitely, but the game was won. You know, it was we were 15 points up at half time. There was no need to, you know, go the same intensity for the full 70 minutes because then you might risk picking up an injury. You know, all the rest, you know, and obviously you want to conserve energy as well. So there was just no need. We were in cruise control, managed the game, kill the game, and that was exactly what Dublin did. And yeah, Meath had a bit of a purple patch towards the end with the penalty and all the rest. But yeah, the game is dead and buried. In fairness, Meath is a suburb of Dublin. What do you expect is what David says there. Look, you know, I'd love to see Meath back at the, you know, you want to see rivalry, you know, you want to see you want to see that rivalry there because it's not good when there is no rivalry. You know, Dublin and Meath is a historic rivalry in GAA, one of the oldest rivalries in Gaelic games and one of the best rivalries, and it's just not there. And yes, Dublin have kicked on massively, and obviously, you know, they've been beating everyone in Leinster really very comfortably for the last 15 years or the last, you know, 12 years. So you wouldn't, I'm not expecting Meath to go and beat Dublin or anything like that. But I just think they need to be a bit more competitive and just get their house in order a little bit more because there is good players there. And I do think they have the potential to come out of Division 2. But yeah, just a poor performance from them, in my opinion, especially in the first half. You know, I don't know what it is when they play Dublin. They just seem to go, they seem to lack confidence and go within themselves. Like 5 points in the first half, just nowhere near good enough realistically. But look, Dublin were excellent and really good, and you know, Dublin could have been playing anyone in Leinster or anyone in the country today, and you know, they might have beaten them. You know, maybe not a Kerry, but I think anyone else. But yeah, excellent performance from Dublin. 13-point victory in the end, which a scoreline that probably flatters to deceive really because it probably should have been by more, and that penalty at the end probably made up for it in the end. But yeah, look, Dublin obviously march on into the Leinster final. Kildare obviously beat Westmeath earlier today as well, so that should be an interesting Leinster final, and I would certainly be curious to hear your opinions and thoughts in the comments down below in terms of that. I mean, I would expect Kildare to give a better go at Dublin, definitely, but Dublin are playing very, very good, and definitely, you know, with the way they're playing, look at, you know, yes, Meath haven't been great, you know, and then you're playing Wexford, but I think we're looking very good, and you know, I wouldn't rule us out just yet for an All-Ireland. That's all I'll say. You know, because even Dublin Kerry in an All-Ireland semi-final, if that is the game that happens, you know, the pressure's on Kerry. Do you know what I mean? The pressure is on them, and how will they deal with that? That is going to be the big question. But look, a lot of work still to do for Dublin. Still a few defensive issues. That chance from Jordan Morris in the first half where he goes around Fitzsimons, you know, you can see with Dublin that there is, you know, with the man-to-man system they play at the back, there is vulnerabilities there, and better teams will punish Dublin. But we'll have to wait and see, obviously, over the coming weeks. You know, you can't fault Dublin's performance for that victory. So yeah, look, listen, we'll go ahead and wrap this up here. Anyways, if you could smash the like button, subscribe if you're new, share this out to your friends and family. I am going to record a Derry and Monaghan match reaction as well. I'm going to be live in about 10 minutes or so to discuss that one. So if you want to tune in for that, feel free. And yeah, cheers anyone who tuned into the live, watch along stream and all the rest. More content coming soon. Dublin with a big victory over Meath. And yeah, cheers anyone.